Hello and welcome to Little Drops of Wonderful. This is my channel where I talk about all things knitting and crochet and all the lovely crafty stuff. And my name is Ali and I live in the very southeast of England in the county of Kent. And I'm here today with a bit of an extra video for you, even though I realise I just started that sounding a bit like the beginning of a podcast. But this is very much a kind of vloggy thing about a cast-on party for my Strictly yarns. So I have got a number of very precious skeins of yarn that are kind of Strictly themed that I've been putting aside over the years, and I want to use them all. I'm getting so fed up with me putting things in cupboards and not using them, and I figured if I cast them all on and had a bit of a cast on party, then yeah, it might take me another year to finish them all, but at least they're started and I can pick them up and work on them. So that's what I'm going to do today. And when I say Strictly yarns, I should probably explain that every year for the past 6 or 7 years, maybe longer, I have run, I really should know this, I think it started in 2016, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 8th year? Is this the 8th year of the Strictly Sockalong? Oh, wow, that makes me feel peculiar. Yeah, so the Strictly Sockalong is where we come together to knit or crochet socks during the period of time that the UK version of Dancing with the Stars, which is Strictly Come Dancing, is on the television. And the idea behind it, you don't have to watch Strictly or Dancing with the Stars, because the idea behind it is it's a really long sock-along where you can take time if you want to learn to knit or crochet socks. You can have fun and make loads of projects, or you've got time to just make one if you're slow like me. And the idea is you cheat. And that's become a big sort of feature of the Sockalong over the years, is we all have fun trying to think of really tenuous reasons why we should be allowed to knit on our socks, even if at the time we're not watching Strictly, or in some people's case, they don't watch it at all, or Dancing with the Stars. It's running now, it runs from September right through to the 1st or 2nd week of January. I have loads of really lovely physical prizes, pattern prizes. I've got a discount code, which I will pop in the description box underneath this video, and all the information about how you can take part, how you can chat to other people in the Ravelry group, or the hashtag to use if you want to chat on Instagram, and all of that. I'm in the middle of doing Vlogtober at the moment, so my presence on Instagram has been very lax, so I'm going to try and rectify that this week. I'm going to take some lovely pictures today during my casting on session. Yeah, so I'm going to start by showing you the yarns that I have I'm going to be caking up today, and then I'm going to cut to me a few weeks ago. I filmed a little segment where I selected all of the bags that I'm going to be using, all the project bags. So we'll cut back there. I've just realised I've got one more that I might be using as well, but that is already caked up, and that is the yarn from Wool is the Answer. So I'm probably not going to show that in this video, but you would have seen it in my last episode, episode 105, which is the last video on this channel. So the first couple I'm going to show you, the first 3 actually, are all Little French Meadow yarns. Now, Little French Meadow no longer dye, but there was a year very early on in the Strictly Sockalong, they were always so supportive of it, where they dyed lots and lots of different colourways named after different dances. So I've got this one, which is Flamenco. I just love this one. I've always felt that this one was a really lovely Christmassy looking yarn, sort of frosty. And this, I believe, is a 50-20 set, so it's quite, it's just enough for socks, which is perfect. So you get your contrast colour for cuffs, heels and toes. So that's Flamenco by Little French Meadow. So that's the first one I'm caking up. And I've got another sock set from them, which is called She Was a Showgirl. Really lovely samba-y type colours. And then I've got a full skein from Little French Meadow with a contrast, and this is the Charleston. I've always loved the bright little pops of green and pink and blue in here. There we go. So to have a full skein is a lot, isn't it? I'm wondering if maybe one of the patterns I select should be a toe up one, so I could use every last drop of yarn. but I don't often knit toe-up socks because they don't fit me as well. So maybe not. We'll get to selecting patterns in a bit. And then finally, not finally, because I've got another one in the living room, which I'll go and fetch in a second. That just fell out of the label, hang on. Is this beautiful Sherry Iris yarn from a couple of years ago. She did a colourway called Strictly Ballroom. I will link all of the makers underneath, obviously not Little French Meadow that I mentioned, whether they're yarn dyers or bag makers or any other maker that I mentioned. And I will also make a note if they're still doing the colourways in question as well, because I don't know if Sherry Iris is still doing this particular colour. Yeah, so that's another one. I'll just fetch the official Sockalong yarn for this year. So I've actually already caked this up because I intended to cast it on during the Strictly launch show, but I actually ended up casting on a completely different pair of socks in yarn that is in no way related to Strictly. By the way, it's not a requirement that you use any kind of yarn that's got a Strictly name or is related, although a lot of people do just for the fun of it. It's just that I happen to have a really lovely collection of yarns of that nature. So I have caked up one of the official colourways. If you go back to my previous episode, you'll see me talking about both of them. It's by Green Lambkin Yarn, Suzanne, and this is Ballroom Bliss. Now you can buy this on glitter, I want to say glitter base. It's not right, is it? Sparkle. You can buy it on a sparkle base or non-sparkle. This is the non-sparkle. And it's already caked up and ready to go. And I already know what pattern I'm going to make. I'm going to make the Drippity Drop Socks by Kay Jones. Okay, let's go to me in the past, selecting bags. And I'll see you back here for some yarn winding. Oh my goodness me. Okay. Actually, I've got to grab another one. Hang on. Right, it's time to choose project bags to go with my Strictly yarn for my cast on party. So I've already got a little one here. It's not my most spectacular of project bags, but it's got one of my little Strictly badges on one side and my little Drop of Wonderful one. These are my plastic free ones. And it's just got little handy holdy people on it. Oh, sorry. Filming it upside down, it's difficult. I really like it, and also it's just such a nice little size for grabbing as I go out. It's got a fun lining as well, so I'm going to use this one. I'm also going to use my get it in shot, my Strictly Sockalong 2021 bag, which was made especially for me by Julie at So Unique. She's on YouTube as well. She's got a lovely Etsy shop and a bricks and mortar shop, and she did these one year and they're just brilliant. So I'm gonna use that. And I've also got a little autumnal sock pouch from Joe Pickle Lily. There's her little thing in here. Oh, I haven't got one. She hasn't got her little label in. I will link everyone I mentioned underneath. So I'm definitely going to use this as well. So let's get my yarns all laid out so I can see which one's going to go with what. Okay, so I've got my 4 skeins here, and then my other one, which is the official Sockalong yarn that you've seen already from my lovely friend Suzanne at Green Lambkin. So I think the official Sockalong yarn from Green Lambkin, that's pinky, isn't it? So, okay. So I'm thinking Flamenco by the No Longer Dying Little French Meadow is blue. That's going to go perfectly in my Strictly socks. But actually I could have 2 sets of socks in this one, couldn't I? That might work. Or maybe I'll go for... Oh, which one would go as well? Oh, 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 oh. No, I'm gonna do all separate. And then for my autumnal little bag, because it's got the toadstools, don't know if I showed that before, and the foxes and all the autumnal little things. I'm thinking, not because of the colour, although it does look quite nice, but because of the size, because this is a smaller sock set. I think this is going to fit much better in here when it's all balled. I might actually ball it up rather than cake it up, so it fits nicely in there. It'd be really nice to get that knit up this year. And I think I'm going to put my official one from Suzanne in this bag. So that means I've got to choose 2 more project bags for my Sherry Irish yarn and the other Little French Meadow Charleston yarn. I'm not going to show you all my bags because there are too many for this video, but I will do a video all about all my project bags because I have a ridiculous amount and they're all beautiful. And I love them all. Right, I'm not going to... Oh, look, I've got another Strictly bag. I forgot. From Jo at... oh, let's see if I can find her card. Or her... Oh, no, she didn't have a card. Not Jo. Sarah Jo. Sarah Jo Makes, this is by. I'll link her underneath if she's still making. I don't know if she's got any of these in her shop at the moment, but I will find out. And this has got brilliant little Charleston dancers on it, so that's got to be one, and that goes beautifully with the Sherry Iris. So there we go, that was easy, right at the top. So that leaves 1 bag to find from a Little French Meadow. Well, this is a gorgeous one by So Ray Me. I love this one. It only needs to be a little sock size one. Oh, I've got my lovely lobster one here. Ooh. That was made for me as a gift. Beautiful birds. That's probably a bit big, that one. This is quite nice. This was made by Julie, I think. This is one of Julie's lovely bags. That's quite a nice autumnal one, and it's a good sock size as well. I've got my wonderful chicken bag, which is Bags by Awesome Granny. This was another lovely gift. I do like my chicken bag. That would be fun to have out. It's a bit clashy with the pink though, although I do like clashing. These are a bit big, these ones. Beautiful but big. Oh, I've got my Joe Pickle Lily yarn bucket as well. That might be quite good, but again I think I want something a bit bigger. Oh, so many gorgeous ones to choose from. This is one of my most favourite bags of all time. This is a Mrs. S Creations bag, and it was brilliant for putting badges on. So I've got all kinds of little Moomin pins, and some of my favourite makers are on here. And then I've got my Lichen Fancier pin on the back. It's really hard to film at this angle. Yeah, that's a contender. I like that one. What else have I got in here? It's like sock size. I have tried to put them away in a kind of size order, but sometimes in my excitement that doesn't always go to plan. Oh, I forgot about this one. This is a lovely one. This is by Dawn at Dawn's Days, but she's now the Woven Almanac. She did some prizes one year and I was allowed to keep one for myself, and I just fell in love with this one. So pretty. Oh look, it goes really well as well, doesn't it? I think I'm going to go for this one by Dawn's Days because it's just so pretty. Oh look, it's a sign. I've even got one of my, I must have used it last year maybe. I've got one of my old style Strictly. Oh no, now it's fallen off. Hang on. Oh, that's because it wasn't actually on, it just got stuck. I'm going to put it there though, I like that. Yeah. So this is one of my old style Strictly badges. It's exactly the same as my new ones, except it's not plastic free and it's smaller. I don't sell these ones anymore. I only sell the big ones. But yeah, it goes so beautifully with this yarn that I think that's going to be my combination for that. Right, I've got to get this back up there now. Oh, I could spend hours just looking through this bag, all the bags. I will do that. I will do a video. How did these all fit in here? Okay, I've got my first yarn on the winder, no, the Swift, that's the name. Oh, sorry about the wobble. You're actually on top of a giant Tupperware box, which is containing lemon drizzle cake, of which I have a slice, so I had to move the camera in order to get to the cake. So I've got my slice of cake, I've got a cup of tea in my Strictly Socks mug, of course, because, you know, this is work that requires sustenance to keep going. I've got it all ready to go, and I've got my laptop here, and I'm going to watch some Vlogtobers. So let's get stuck in and do some winding. Oh, this feels a bit more normal. I'm in my podcasting position, kind of. So that took a lot longer than I thought it would to do that, and it's been absolutely lovely. I've neglected every other task that I need to do and had a lovely time watching YouTube and winding yarn. So I'm now going to put them in their bags, and I'm going to let you know what patterns I'm going to make. So first bag is the Dawn's Days bag, who is the Woven Almanac. Beautiful. I had to write down which yarn I'm putting in which bag, otherwise I'll forget. So that's going to be the Charleston yarn, which is this one. So I'm going to pop this all in here. I've just realised as well that I'm going to need to find DPNs for all of these. I'm pretty sure I've got enough, but I'm not averse to ordering some more. So that's going in there, and with that yarn, I should probably show it you caked up as well. So I was very pleased with myself with this. I weighed my ball winder, and then I was able to weigh out 50 grams each, so that I knit my socks concurrently. So I wanted 2 cakes of the main colour. It doesn't matter for the contrast colour because I'll never be using that at the same time. But doesn't that look gorgeous, all caked up like that? Oh, I'm really looking forward to making that. And I am going to make some crochet socks with this one because I really wanted to make some crochet socks this year. I'm going to make the Rundle socks by Deanne Ramsey. So that's going to be something a bit different, something a bit of a challenge for me, and I'm really looking forward to that. So no needles required. postie pulling up outside. Wonder if it's for me. But I'll need to find an appropriate hook and do some swatching. Okay, next bag. Okay, I had a bit of a change of mind about bags. So I've got my Strictly 2021 bag from lovely Julie. It's so unique. And I've got my little dodgy bag that I made, my Blue Dancers bag. Now I did say that I was going to do the official yarn from Suzanne at Green Lampkin in this one, and the flamenco yarn, the blue flamenco yarn from Little French Meadow in this one. But looking at the size difference, I'm thinking that the official Green Lampkin yarn, Ballroom Bliss, is going to work better in here because that is a bigger skein of yarn. And the flamenco yarn, which is blue and therefore goes very well with the bag. I'll show it you. I balled these up because they're just 50 gram skeins, so I balled them up into two 25 gram balls. I thought this would fit better in my little dodgy bag because it's a lot smaller. So that's what I'm going to do, swap those ones round. Oh, and I should say, with the Green Lampkin yarn, these are going to be Drippity Drop socks by Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears. I've made a pair of Drippity Drop socks before and I loved them. And with the flamenco yarn, I am going to make the Swiss Dot socks by Nancy Wheeler, lovely Nancy of Knits It Pappy. The postman wasn't for me, by the way, it was for next door. Very disappointing. Yeah, they're lovely socks and I think they'll look lovely with that yarn. Having said that, my Showgirl yarn, which is this one, with beautiful red contrast colour, that's a lovely red, is going to go in the little autumnal pouch by Joe Pickle Lily. And that's going to fit absolutely perfectly. And I put down the Ada socks for the Showgirl yarn. But then I thought they're both really good patterns for using a main yarn with a contrast colour. But do I want the Ada socks in the Showgirl or do I want that in the flamenco? And do I want the Swiss Dot socks in the flamenco or do I want it in the Showgirl? I'm not sure what will work best with what. So if you have an opinion, let me know. And then finally, I've got the beautiful Sherry Irish yarn, which just looks stunning. It looks like it's glowing. Look at that. Strictly Ballroom. And that is in the Charleston bag by Sarah Jo Makes. And with that, I am going to make the Chicken Scratch socks, which is a pattern I've had in my library for quite a while now, by Lauren Colby, inspired by chickens. So I thought that would be absolutely lovely, and I think it's a pattern that's going to work really well with that type of yarn. So now I've got to go and dig out all my DPNs, because that's how I knit my socks, and one hook, and get that all ready. And I'm going to write a little note to put in each bag to remind myself what I'm making, because I will forget. And I probably won't have the, oh, maybe I'll print the patterns, I'm not sure. I normally just use my phone for patterns. So yeah, I'll put a little note inside to remind myself. And I'll add it to my little sock notebook as well. And get started. I'm going to have some lunch and then I'm actually going to start casting everything on. So thank you so much for watching this little cast on party, even though the casting on hasn't happened yet, but you will see that in a moment. And for spending some time with me while I cake up all that yarn and make some pattern decisions. Are you joining in with the Strictly Sockalong? Let me know. It's a lot of fun. The thread on Ravelry, the chatter thread and the FO thread is so full of funny cheats and chatting and people helping each other. And the posts on Instagram are brilliant as well. So if you are joining in, let me know what you're making underneath, what pattern, what yarn you're using, and what your devious cheating ways are as well. And be sure to leave me a comment if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to press like, it really helps my channel and I really appreciate it. Right, lunch and knitting.